All right, so now let's discuss the animation layers and also the key controls. The first thing I like to do is turn on auto key, which is always important, but we're going to focus down here on the base animation layer. All right, so the base animation layer, I just like to call it the mocap layer. When you put motion capture or imported data of any kind onto your character for the first time, it occurs on the base animation layer. So let's just put out a little bit of animation. We'll have him do a jump spin 180. And in this case, I'm just bringing him the data into the scene. And then I'm going to apply, or rather than apply, I should say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell Ronnie's character to follow this character. Okay? It's real easy. Make sure that Ronnie is selected, and then under the source, select character. Okay? I want you to notice that there's an obvious difference in size between the character and Ronnie's character. And what Motion Builder and Human IK is doing is retargeting that data onto my skeleton in real time. It's one of the real big advantages of using Human IK. All right, so I'm just going to go to Models Only. Now we can kind of get a good look at how that data is affecting it. It's not bad. I mean, it holds up pretty well from all the angles. All right. So the next thing that I want to do is just take a look and see if that's working. So let's see him jump and turn. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's rewind and have him jump and turn. Okay. So your motion capture data needs to be turned into a control rig. So I'm going to bake that data onto the control rig. Okay. And then I'm going to make sure that his control rig is selected, not the previous character. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to select all the body parts. And then I'm going to take a look and I'm going to see that there's keys on every single frame. So we got 59 keyframes on the base layer. All right. Editing those, let's say we wanted to raise his arms up a little bit or do something with his fingers. We would have to apply that to every single key, because if you made a change here, then it would just jump back here on one. So to counteract that, we use animation layers. And adding an animation layer is very easy. You just hit the plus sign and anim layer 1 appears. Okay. Now you can delete, you can merge. We'll do some of that as we go along, especially when we're doing our actual animation. But for right now, what I want to do is just show you the power of what animation layers do. So you see there are no keys. I still have the whole body selected, but there are no keys on animation layer 1. Jump back to base, all the keys, animation layer 1 is clear. So what I usually like to do is set a key right at the very beginning. So once again, let's take a look at the animation. All right. And it looks pretty cool. But we see that there's some problems going on with occlusion right here, okay? So let's just fix this one hand as a quick example of the power of animation layers. Once again, we'll jump back to the beginning, and then we'll take a look at where there might be problems. Let's zoom up a little bit, kind of come around to where that hand is. All right, so all away from the body, and then it's going to come around here, and we'll zip over to the side, and where he lands, that's when he starts hitting, right about there. So what I want to do when I find kind of the last good point is set a key, and then I want to go to when the hand works fine. Again, on the backside, he's still a little occluded on that frame, and I'll set a key there. Then all I have to do is go back to where the apex of the penetration occurs and simply use the translator to bring him out. I might put a little bit of rotation on as well. Okay? And then you can see he never really penetrates. Oh, he still does there for a minute, but that's real easy to fix. The rest of it is okay. So you see, once again, right on that particular frame, just going to go pull it out a little bit and then give it a little rotation to make it look a little more natural. So now when he lands, he never, he's like touching right there. Let's pull him off that just a hair. Okay. So you see, it's real easy to go see where the problems are between the two good spots, right? So you can make some really quick adjustments. Now, let's take a look at that animation. Okay, still a little clunky, but we can edit that really easily. And then another thing that I think I want to do is I want to adjust those fingers. They look a little unnatural, don't they? So let's just run over to the hand real quick and then grab all of the main keys, make sure that we're set to local rotation. And then I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to rotate them down a little bit, okay? And just kind of give it more of a relaxed look. And then I want to make sure that all my fingers are selected and my thumb. And then I'm going to set a pose. There we go. All right. Next, what I want to do is rename that real quick. And we'll call that hand relaxed. Okay. Now I'll deselect and then switch to the other hand. Select the same as the other hand. Make sure that mirror is turned on and then paste. Okay. Now we can see that we're experiencing some problems with the hand in general. So I think a good idea would be to move the hands away from the body right in the very beginning. And this is often the case when you have a smaller sized person doing the motion capture. All right. So moving the arms and hands out a little bit. Sometimes I'll rotate the shoulders even a little bit, but these shoulders look okay for right now. And I do this all here on frame 0. Okay. Because now that will ripple effect through the entire animation and it'll maintain that distance from the body all the way to the end. So you see now we don't have any occlusion there at the end. I mean, his arms aren't supernatural, but would refine that while I'm actually doing the animation. So that gives you an idea of the power of animation layers.